A wicked game. The emperor of the universe Sapphirus was a very old man. He was positively ancient. He was over 1,200 years old. He was a time traveler stuck in the past. He had his full mental and physical facility still. He was not sickly, and he looked like a young man. He was a young and fit man. His son Lakelandite saw him as a doddering old man only once. In a private moment when Sapphirus thought he was alone, he changed his appearance spell which controlled his appearance. He was usually seen as a handsome young 25-year-old man. He maxed out the age on it. He looked like a really old and white-haired man in his emperor's clothes. He looked in a nearby mirror and was happy. Lakelandite then entered the room. Seeing his father, he laughed. "Are you trying to go on the old age pension?" asked the son. "No, I don't want to become a pensioner," Sapphirus said. "I'm doing it to catch a person preying on the elderly." "You are elderly already. What are you doing trying to look your age?" Lakelandite joked. Sapphirus scoffed and said, "There is a con man, telling the elderly they are being haunted by evil spirits." "Are they?" asked Lakelandite. "No. They are told to take their precious things to be blessed in a bag and meet them again and not look at the bag for a while when they do." "It's empty," said Sapphirus. "And you want to be robbed?" giggled Lakelandite. "No, I want to stop them from robbing people, you psycho," grumbled back Sapphirus. "Let me help you," said Lakelandite. "How saying I look old?" said Sapphirus. Later in the streets of Box Hill, an ancient man walked the streets being stalked by a not-so-foul spirit, an invisible grim reaper. "Are we there yet?" asked the bored reaper. "He'll turn up eventually," grumbled Sapphirus in the reaper's mind. "I'm going for lunch in the shopping center food court. Good place to be seen." They walked to the Plaza Shopping Center food court. Sapphirus acted like a doddering old man, which he wasn't in spite of his being over 1,200 years old. He wasn't human, either. Sapphirus sat and threw salt behind him into the eyes of Lakelandite. The reaper winced. He was in human form. He had salt thrown directly in his eyes. "What was that for?" demanded the invisible man in Sapphirus's head. "I am throwing salt in the devil's eyes," said Sapphirus seriously in the mind of Lakelandite, who was livid at the assault and the insult. "I'm not the devil," hissed Lakelandite in his father's mind. "I know. It is a superstition. I'm acting superstitious," said Sapphirus in the reaper's mind as he drank a cup of coffee. "You threw salt in my eyes, I can't see," snapped Lakelandite in Sapphirus's mind. "It worked," said Sapphirus in the reaper's head as the old man munched a sandwich down. You shouted the livid reaper as he rubbed his eyes. "Hello, sir. I think you have a foul spirit following you," said a man walking up to Sapphirus. "You noticed?" said Sapphirus. "Yes," said the stranger. Lakelandite forced his hurting teary eyes to see. This was their mark. "I can help you get rid of it," said the mark. "You can? Nice, how?" asked Sapphirus. Sapphirus threw more salt behind him, missing his son who had moved. "You missed me, you old loony," crowed Lakelandite in his father's head. Sapphirus chuckled aloud. "Is there something funny?" asked the con man. "No, just a private joke," said Sapphirus. "Do you want help or not?" asked the con man. "I want help, yes," Sapphirus said, turning to face Lakelandite, who he saw. "Begone, you foul spirit," said Sapphirus to his son, pleading feebly. Lakelandite laughed his head off in Sapphirus's head after saying, "Yeah right, Dad. Use the voice next time." The voice being a hypnotic voice that none could resist, which their people used as superheroes. "No, that won't work," said the con man, not at all sure why he was looking at the non-existent ghost. Sapphirus turned back to the con man. "Then how can I get rid of him?" asked Sapphirus. "Him? Do you see someone?" asked the con man, wondering whether the man was hallucinating. "No," lied Sapphirus, who saw his son. "Okay, said the conman. Please help me. What do I do? Asked Sapphirus, playing a feeble doddering old man to the hilt. The conman pitied him a bit. Go home, said the conman. What will that do? Asked Sapphirus. Nothing. When you're there, put your most prized objects in a bag, said the conman. Okay, then what? Asked Sapphirus, who knew what was coming. Come back here, and I'll bless them and the ghost will be gone, said the conman. Sapphirus left as a gullible human would and returned with a bag. Hello, my friend, said Sapphirus, seeing the conman where he left him. Hello, said the conman, his voice quaking slightly. He really pitied this old guy. But he had to follow through the sting. The conman wondered what the old guy brought with him. What do I do? Give you my bag? Asked Sapphirus innocently. No, I will bless it, said the man, thinking he'd rather set this fish free. As he blessed the bag, Lakelandite spoke in his father's head. He's really talented, he just emptied your bag, said Lakelandite, who was an expert stage magician, so he saw through the charade. I know, boy, said Sapphirus, who was as expert as they came with the art of deception. What did he get? Asked Lakelandite. A deck of cards with a homing spell cast onto them so we can find his nest, said Sapphirus in the head of Lakelandite. The ghost should be gone now, said the conman. Thank you. Should I do anything else? Said Sapphirus. Don't look in the bag till you get home or the blessing won't work, said the conman nervously. Sapphirus left, thanking the conman greatly. Lakelandite joined Sapphirus at his home. They opened the bag to find it empty. What now? Asked Lakelandite. We wait, said Sapphirus, who changed his appearance spell to default 25-year-old human. He wasn't human, he was of an alien sorcerer race like his son. Later, at the home of the conman. What the? Said the conman, looking at what the old man gave him. He thought it was a prank. Moments later, two 25-year-old men appeared in the room out of nowhere. Who are you? Asked the conman. The king of the earth, and I'll spare you his name, said Sapphirus, knowing the conman would go to mush if he knew who Lakelandite was better known as. He was Fate's hitman, who was seen as a brutal serial killer by the public. I see you got my calling cards, said Sapphirus. Lakelandite laughed, amused. What do you want? Asked the conman. Nothing much, just a trifling thing, said Sapphirus. What? Asked the conman. A moment, said Sapphirus. A moment later, the place was crawling with police officers, to the distress of the conman. That's him, said Sapphirus. Thanks, King, Necromancer, said one of the policemen who came. The conman was in shock, finding out who Lakelandite was. The necromancer smiled. Arrest him, said the policeman in charge of the crime scene. Sapphirus had teleported the police to the home of the conman, where they found some of the loot he stole from gullible people.